Hey everyone, welcome back to the English Way,
We're so glad you're here with us today.
and welcome to part 2 of Talking About Family Naturally. In part 1, we talked about family relationships, childhood stories, family gatherings, and some funny memories that every family seems to have.
We also learned useful English expressions like close-knit family and spitting image, and shared a few embarrassing stories along the way. Especially your superhero flying experiment.
I was young, optimistic, and apparently unaware of gravity.
Very unaware.
If you haven't watched part 1 yet, be sure to check it out after this episode. In today's episode, we will be talking about siblings and sibling rivalry, grandparents and the life lessons they teach us, family traditions, and childhood memories.
So grab a cup of coffee, relax, and enjoy the conversation.
Let's jump right in.
Adam, speaking of family, let's talk about siblings.
Siblings. The people who know exactly how to annoy you and exactly how to make you laugh.
That's such an accurate description.
Do you have a good relationship with your siblings?
I do now.
That now sounds important.
Very important. When we were kids, we argued about everything. Remote controls, the front seat of the car.
Who got the bigger piece of cake? Whose turn was it to wash the dishes? The important issues.
Obviously, at the time they felt extremely important.
That's what makes childhood arguments so funny. You can have a 20-minute fight over something you won't even remember next week.
Exactly.
But that's where another useful expression comes in.
Sibling rivalry.
Sibling rivalry refers to the competition, disagreements, or conflicts that often happen between brothers and sisters.
And it's incredibly common.
Very common. In fact, I'd be surprised to meet siblings who never competed with each other.
Same.
My brother and I turned everything into a competition. Who could run faster? Who could eat faster? Who could finish the homework first? Who could stay awake later?
Who usually won?
Depends on who tells the story.
Smart answer.
Thank you. But here's the interesting thing. When you're young, sibling rivalry can feel intense. Then you grow up and realize those same people become some of your biggest supporters.
That's so true. The person you fought with over toys becomes the person you call when life gets difficult.
And somehow they still know exactly how to tease you.
That's a lifelong skill.
It really is. Do you know another family phrase I hear often? It runs in the family.
That's a great one. If something runs in the family, it means several family members share the same trait, talent, habit, or characteristic.
For example, musical ability might run in the family, or a sense of humor, or, unfortunately, terrible dancing.
Some family traditions should not continue.
Agreed. In my family, bad singing definitely runs in the family.
That's okay. Bad singing often creates the best memories.
Speaking of memories, let's talk about grandparents. Because grandparents seem to occupy a special place in almost everyone's heart.
They really do. Grandparents often connect us to family history. They tell stories from another generation.
They share experiences we never lived through. And somehow they always have the best advice.
Not always immediately. Sometimes their advice sounds strange when you're young. Then years later, you suddenly realize they were right.
That's happened to me more times than I'd like to admit. My grandfather used to say, "Treat people kindly on your way up because you'll meet them again on your way down."
That's wonderful.
I didn't fully understand it as a teenager. Now I think about it all the time.
My grandmother had a similar way of teaching lessons. She rarely gave direct advice. Instead, she'd tell stories. Stories about neighbors, stories about family members, stories about mistakes she'd made.
That's a powerful teaching style.
It really is, because you remember the story long after you forget the lecture.
That's a lesson in itself. And grandparents often become the keepers of family history.
Exactly.
They're the ones who know where the family came from. Who met whom? How traditions started. What life was like decades ago. They're like living libraries.
That's such a beautiful description. Living libraries.
And when families lose grandparents, many people realize how much history was stored inside those conversations. That's why it's important to ask questions while we still can. Ask about childhood. Ask about family traditions. Ask about old photographs. Ask about favorite memories.
Those conversations become treasures later.
They really do.
Speaking of traditions, does your family have any unusual traditions?
We do. Every holiday dinner ends exactly the same way. Everyone says they're full. Everyone promises not to eat another bite. And then dessert appears.
A classic family tradition.
Every year, without fail.
Family traditions are fascinating because they don't have to be big.
Sometimes they're very small things. A special meal, a yearly photo, a favorite holiday movie, a birthday ritual.
That's true. Traditions give families a sense of continuity.
They create something people can look forward to.
And they create memories.
When you look back on childhood, many of your strongest memories are connected to traditions.
Absolutely.
Some of my favorite childhood memories involve family road trips.
Oh, road trips create stories automatically.
They really do. There was one trip where we got lost for 3 hours. Nobody could agree on directions. Everyone blamed everyone else.
Sounds like a successful family vacation.
Somehow, it became one of our favorite memories.
That's the funny thing about childhood memories.
The moments that seemed stressful at the time often become the stories we laugh about later.
So true.
I think childhood memories are powerful because they capture feelings, not just events.
Explain that.
Well, sometimes I can't remember every detail of a day, but I remember how it felt. I remember feeling safe, excited, curious, loved.
That's beautiful. And I think that's why certain memories stay with us. Not because they were perfect, but because they meant something.
Exactly. Sometimes it's not the expensive vacation you remember. It's sitting around a table with family members telling jokes.
Or staying up late talking to cousins.
Or learning to cook with a grandparent. Or opening holiday gifts with your siblings. Those moments become what I would call cherished memories.
I love that phrase.
A cherished memory is a memory you value deeply because it carries emotional meaning.
It stays with you.
Years pass, but the feeling remains. That's why family matters so much. Not because families are perfect, but because they become part of our story.
And every family story includes different generations.
Which brings us to another useful phrase.
Generation gap.
The generation gap refers to differences in attitudes, values, interests, or experiences between older and younger generations. For example, grandparents and grandchildren may have completely different views on technology.
Definitely. I once tried explaining social media to my grandmother.
How did that go?
Let's just say she thought following someone sounded slightly concerning.
That's fair.
But even with a generation gap, families find ways to connect.
That's an important point. You don't have to agree on everything to have a meaningful relationship.
Sometimes the differences themselves make conversations interesting.
Exactly.
Now here's another expression many learners should know.
Family reunion. A family reunion is a gathering where family members, often from different places, come together after a long time apart. Some family reunions are huge. Hundreds of people, name tags, group photos.
And at least 3 relatives asking, "Do you remember me?"
Even though you've never seen them before in your life.
Exactly.
But family reunions can be wonderful because they remind us that we're part of something larger, a larger story, a larger history, a larger family. That's a comforting feeling.
It really is.
And I think one reason people enjoy family gatherings is that they remind us where we came from.
That's beautifully said.
No matter how much life changes, family often provides a sense of connection. Not every family looks the same. Not every family has the same traditions. Not every family has the same experiences, but many people share the desire to belong.
To be understood, to feel connected.
And family often plays a role in that. I think that's why family conversations are so universal.
Almost everyone has stories.
Funny stories,
Complicated stories.
heartwarming stories,
Embarrassing stories.
usually all four. We hope this conversation helped you learn useful English and reminded you of some special memories, too. Thanks for listening.
We'll see you in the next episode. Bye, everyone.